Some things defy logic, like how good an air-cooled 200cc two-stroke can actually be with a 6-speed transmission, the Kawasaki forward axle forks, the unitrack suspension, low center of gravity, lightweight. It's just a spectacular weapon for in the woods. And Kawasaki's won multiple GNCC and national championship off-roads and numerous local regional titles on these KDXs because they were absolutely bulletproof and they flat out worked. And some things defy conventional logic. This is a business. We have 25 or 23, I don't even know, I'd have to ask Junior, but close to 25 employees that work here right now. And this is a business. So to do a 62-hour work order to restore an 86 KDX200 with just under $2,000 in parts and a new Millennium technology cylinder on it may not make sense to some people, but for us, it's not just about the money. If we break even on this bike or make a couple bucks, it's not really that's not really the point. The point is we're resurrecting a legend of a motorcycle that's going to live on for another 40 years. Look at the frame rails on it. We started off with clean frame rails, the original front wheel, and engine cases were in mint shape, original matching numbers bike. This came from a friend of mine in North Carolina. I bought it from him, shipped it all the way up here, and we took it right down to the frame and went through everything on the bike, cosmetically and mechanically. So conventional wisdom would think that's not a good business idea, but think about it. Thousands of people are going to see this video, and it's part of our legacy. So even if we cost us a couple bucks to do it, in the end, it makes sense to us. I can justify doing it, and the reward is the gratification of when it's done like this, and you get to see it on video and see all the cool comments about people talking about how much fun they had when they were a kid on one. And I meet the coolest people at the rallies. I was at the Barber Vintage Museum, and I ran into Robert Pierce, the vice president of the KTM North America group, and had a long conversation like I was talking to an old friend, because I restored a TS 125 and he had one when he was a kid. In fact, he bought a brand new NOS one. He had one with no miles on it. So a lot of great memories on these bikes. A lot of great memories still can be made with this bike. Bringing it to vintage events, going to events like the Barber Vintage Museum. And it's a classic that you can run in modern events if you wanted to ride it against new bikes, race against new bikes. A good rider like Carson Brown would probably clean up at a local GNCC with this thing and hold it tapped everywhere. It's really 80% rider. These bikes are a lot of fun to ride. They're torquey. It has the motocross lineage with the forks and the unitrack suspension and the two-stroke cylinder, but it's tuned for off-road riding. It's got that extra gear in the transmission, so you're flying down the rail trail, you bang 6th gear, and you got another 10 miles an hour top end speed on them. They're just excellent motorcycles that are extremely reliable, that flat out work. Part of the restoration obviously was the cosmetic, but before I get into that, I'll go into the mechanical work order here and go over exactly what was done to this bike. When it came to us, the bike ran, spark tested good, so we went through and did a basic tune-up on it before we rebuilt the engine to ride it and make sure the training and everything was good. Put a new NGK spark plug in it, disassembled, cleaned, rebuilt the carb and replaced it and rejetted it after the initial test. It runs beautifully. Drained, flushed, and inspected the fuel tank. Put a new fuel petcock rebuild kit on it. New fuel lines, new carb vent lines, running fresh VPT2 ethanol-free premix. The air box was cleaned and inspected. We installed a new foam air filter. We put a new output shaft seal on the counter shaft sprocket. New oil drain plug, and it's running Spectro 1040 transmission oil. We installed new chain rollers on the drive chain, a new chain slider, and of course the new gold chain and sprocket mount bolts. The rear wheel was completely rebuilt with a new Excel Takasago rear rim, new spokes, new rear wheel bearings. We rebuilt and trued the rear wheel, installed the new drive sprocket along with the gold vinyl drive chain, and also replaced the original rear suspension linkage. The rear hub was vapor blasted, of course, new wheel bearings, brand new rear tire, brand new tube, brand new rim strip, and new brakes. So the whole rear wheel assembly is new. A new Dunlop D952 matching front tire was installed in the front 21-inch original rim with a new rim band. The front brakes were flushed and bled with new fluid. We installed new front brake pads, new EBC rear brake shoes, so the brakes front and rear are new. We rebuilt the front forks with new seals and oil, installed new fork boots, And as you can see, the lowers were repainted and restored. The hub was painted and restored. The handlebar grips are brand new. A new throttle cable, a new kill switch, and we installed a new plastic kit on it consisting of the new front fender, new front number plate with the custom graphics on there, new fork boots, new seat cover, new side panel, number plates, and a new rear fender. The silencer was polished like chrome, sanded and polished, and of course the frame was repainted. So the cylinder, as I mentioned, was sent to Millennium, and they completely rebuilt the cylinder and top end with a new liner. So the cylinder is brand new. And it was repainted. The top end was rebuilt with a new Pro X piston kit, which includes the piston, rings, circlips, and wrist pin, and the top end bearing kit, the new needle bearing. The clutch was completely rebuilt with new fiber plates and new steel plates and new clutch springs, and there's a new exhaust gasket kit on there. The engine was completely repainted. The exhaust system was completely repainted, and the bike was given a full cosmetic refurbishing with a full rotisserie detail, including steam clean. The bike was completely dismantled, steam clean, hand washed. The frame rails were painted. The frame underside carriage was repainted. The engine was prepped and painted. The exhaust, as I mentioned, and the silencer polished. They disassembled, cleaned, and painted the rear shock assembly, cleaned and buffed the wheel rims, and prepped and painted the front forks. One of the more time-consuming projects was the fuel tank. That was sanded and buffed. That's a 6 to 8 hour job to do the entire tank, because you got to do it with like 5 different grits. Very, very time-consuming. Devin's a master at doing it. John Lee knows how to do it now too. Of course, it's got the new fuel tank graphics on there, side number plate graphics, and a lot of new hardware on the bike. Just a complete, thorough going through whatever the bike needed. It looks, runs, and rides like it did when it was new at this point. So pretty sure I covered everything. I might have left a couple things out. If I did, it'll all be in the eBay. It also has a new front sprocket in addition to the rear sprocket, of course. Yeah, it'll all be written up on the eBay ad. Again, a labor of love that may not make sense. Most shops probably wouldn't touch a project like this, but when you punch in restored KDX200 86, 5 years from now, our video will come up. So it's part of our legacy. It's something we do to preserve. We own the New England Motorcycle Museum, right? So we restore motorcycles all the time. The museum's full of motorcycles that we restored. There's about 300 bikes on display here, and a lot of bikes that come and go every month. Hundreds of motorcycles on a good month. So it's exciting to be here. An honor to ride these kinds of bikes when they're restored. I think I have the greatest job in the world. There's so many people lusted after this bike when they were a kid and couldn't get one, and I get to have it, if just for a little while. So, and in the end, I employ almost 25 people here, and hopefully I'm helping the industry in some way by doing what we do here. We're absolutely and completely, totally obsessed with motorcycles, and not everything we do makes sense. It may defy conventional logic, like our transporter. We got a huge investment in our transporter. We'll see you guys at Americade in a week. We're not a manufacturer. We're the only dealer on the East Coast that has a transporter like that, but we can show up with 30 kick-ass motorcycles and share them with everybody. So, and it makes sense to me, and hopefully I'm living God's will, because I'm really having a lot of fun, and everything's turning out great. I'm really blessed. I'm here with my son, my daughter, my grandson was here today. Christy was here, my whole family's here, and everybody that works here is like family to me too. We're blessed to do what we do. And thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your support. Hit the like and subscribe. It helps the algorithm. We'll be able to share more cool bikes with the rest of the world, and the video will get shared more if you guys share it. So thank you, and God bless America.